Bitch, I'm God, I'm the Alpha and Omega, I'm the ancient of the days, I'm the Rahman Rahim, and you don't know where I come, you don't know from where I came, all you know is I am one with many aspects, different names, then one day the thought formed into a word inside my brain, then I said let it be, then next thing I heard a bang, then I split up into infinite dimensions with a chain, now we're all interlinked, we are all one and the same.
These records and really building these records up to be more than what they were. Um, for some of the some of the records, like when we did like the Marathon Continues, it was him kind of just putting out his best work at the time, and it was still the same formula. Let's let these records speak. Let's just have everything nice and clear and concise up in the front. No crazy tricks, no gimmicks, nothing like that. And I think that spoke to the bulk of the work that Nip and I did. It was just mostly, you know, letting the getting everything out of the way and letting that really be a canvas to the painting, not focusing on the frame and how shiny the frame is, and how clean the glass is that the portrait was framed in. It wasn't about any of those things. It was about the context.
All right. How'd you take it when you heard the news that he passed away?
Oh man, oh man, I remember, like, it was this one homie, man. He like, yo, like, he sent me this message, and I was just like, nah, like, I couldn't fucking believe it, bro. Like, I couldn't fathom why, or and it just didn't make sense, like, I had just seen dude, like, we had just, I had just seen him at the Grammy show that he had put together, and there was plans to link up, and I had just been tapping in with them. I have been working on my business on my company for about 3 or 4 years. So Nip and I were always just texting each other back and forth, just like, yo, I was just keeping them up to date with my business, and it was just light conversation, and a lot of big plans to get together and do some music. So when that news came, I don't know, bro. It was just really hard to digest. It was really hard to digest, and what was hardest is getting all those texts, bro, and everybody wanting to figure out something, and
Yeah.
and me realizing that I have to step up and get out of my you know I was sad, bro. I was really sad, and I don't want to talk to any. I don't want to answer nobody's questions, like, I was, but I felt like I had to, like, I felt like I had to tell people something, like, you know what, like, I don't know, like, this, I felt like I had to get above myself, beside myself, and really try to be a pillar for some people, just to give them a little bit of what I couldn't find myself, which was just something to hold on to, because it just didn't seem real. And the shit that was really getting to me, that was really difficult, was just, you know going through, just thinking about, like, just our entire relationship as friends, because with me and Nick, it was more than music, bro. It was never about music, but it was because of music. But that's not why we were friends. Nip and I were friends because we connected on a whole bunch of different levels. Like, he saw that I was a hustler. Like, I never asked anybody for anything. Like, I was pulling up in my whips, having my weed, bags of weed. Like, I was a hustler, bro. And Nip could see that his music spoke to cats like me. Like, he saw that. Like, so for me, it was like I felt like I lost a piece of this voice that was gonna be there to kind of guide us through things, right? And as more time kind of went by, and, like, this whole thing kind of played out, I started to really think about the last things that I had spoken to him about, and at the same time, I'm still getting people trying to, telling me their condolences, and just, you know trying to get a little bit of understanding in our relationship, and people were curious. They wanted to speak to me. They wanted to know about him. And at the same time, I was still kind of in this world where I was like, damn, like not only did I not want to talk about these things, but it was like I have felt like the last thing I said to Nipsey, bro, was like, hey Nip, you know, I want us to sit down and I want to tell you a little bit more about my company. And I felt shitty before doing that, bro. And because I kept telling myself that, you know, and it took me a while to admit to this to myself, bro. It took me a while to realize why I felt so down. And it was because, you know, we were friends. And the last time I saw him, you know, I hit him with some business shit, and I couldn't come to why I had done that. And it wasn't until I started to really think about the depthness of our relationship, and it was like the whole team, right? We were always on watching documentaries, or you know, trying to see what Warren Buffett was doing, or you know what, you know, the founders of XYZ were doing, or how, you know, this person got to where they're at, and how we can take those those influences and apply them to music or apply them to ourselves. And we were always trying to be entrepreneurs. We, you know, coming up with the $1,000 mixtape, $100 mixtape, and doing this and doing that. And I was like, yo, these are my entrepreneur brothers. Like, why I hit them up with some business is because that's what we were about. We were about our business, right? So that's what my instinct was. And deep inside, like I always wanted Nip to be like, oh damn, bro, you want shit, you know. That was my big bro, you know. Even though I think I was like a couple months older than bro, like I saw him as my big bro because the depthness of his way to be able to take, you know, raw elements of you know, raw elements of this really hard knock life that he went through, and being able to speak to people that could never truly connect with how hard it is to grow up the way he did. And he made them understand. He made us, and he allowed people to really understand that not only is there a profound depth to who he is, but he's able to speak to those who don't think that we're thinking this way, right? So for me to feel like, yo, like, you know, this whole like situation, like, and I'm feeling just like shitty about it. Like, I realized that, you know, I was purely speaking to my brother on some business shit because we were about our business. And even though I wanted at him to at some level to be like, yo, like, damn, Wizzo, you're on your shit. Like, I'm proud of you. You know, I realized that, you know, that really wasn't going to be the case. And the last words we are going to speak to each other is it was that. And now I respect that, you know. But now with the same kind of a feeling, now every time that I, you know, I connect with somebody, or I grow a relationship with somebody, you know, I always lead with, you know, good to see you, because it's good to hear from you, because, you know, that's what that taught me. But, you know, it's a really difficult lesson to have learned, but it makes me appreciate everybody that's around me a little bit more, on a multitude of levels, because you can relate to people at a you know, multitude of levels. And, you know, you should never really be saddened by any of those things, because, you know, those are the things that make you grow closer. And for me, it was you know, it was this crazy roller coaster of emotions where, like, I'm trying to balance out, like, yo, that was my friend, and that was, you know, a business partner. That was, you know, somebody
Mhm.
that, you know, I mean, bro, all my marketing, and just the way I deal with business, you know, a lot of those concepts were you know, we talked about them together, myself, Nip, Adam, Sam, like all the homies, like JP, like these are the concepts that we were talking about. And for me, it was difficult to realize that, you know, we weren't going to get his words. You know, we weren't going to hear Nip. And you know, not to make the answer long-winded, but, you know, this whole pandemic, you know, I know that he would have said something to us, bro, and it would have made sense, and it would have helped us, and it would have lifted up some of our spirits. And I know that he was the right guy to talk to us, and it really sucks that we didn't get to hear him. And at the same time, I'm questioning where are those dudes that we can depend on at. and why didn't why weren't we able to listen to them, and why didn't they speak to us, you know? And to top that off, you know, another thing that made me feel really good about um and just settled my feeling on how we lost somebody like Nip is it throughout the 4 or 5 days that is passing, I felt this really weird feeling, bro. And till this day I still have it. I can still hear bro talking to me in my head. And I don't think that's an accident. I think, you know, when you speak to so many people and your passing can talk to so many people at such a high level, that's not a coincidence. I think your spirit is manifesting itself in everybody's minds, and I think that's the only way you can go on, and I think that's the purpose of it, right? To be able to manifest ourselves and live a little peace in everybody, because I still hear him like come on Wizzo, you know, like I can hear him like top of the AM, Wizzo, what you doing? Like, you know, like I can hear him talk to me sometimes and just check me, you know, like check myself and just, you know, having this accountability, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that
You know,
that's what he would have. I think that that's what his energy wanted to do.
it's funny you say that because I mean it's almost been 2 years now, and when we heard the news, we do a podcast. We didn't even talk to each other. That we let a couple, maybe like a whole day go by before we talked about it because it affected both of us so much on a totally different level. And it seemed like when he passed, because you hear about his aura, he had an aura about him. Everybody wanted to be around Nip, his aura, and it seemed like when he passed, his aura almost blanketed anybody that he reflected with or kind of resonated with. That we all kind of had that feeling. So it's kind of good to hear somebody that was close to him and somebody that was near him have the same feeling, because I tell you, brother, we all had that feeling, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.